Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison has officially surpassed Mark Zuckerberg to become the world's second richest person.
He owns 98% of a Hawaiian island, spends $500 million racing yachts, flies his own fighter jets. But here's what they don't tell you. He may have built the largest civilian surveillance machine in history. And in 2025, while no one was watching, Larry Ellison became the second richest person on Earth, beating Bezos, beating Zuckerberg, with zero social media, no live streams, no podcast tours, just databases and domination. So how did a dropout from Chicago beat big tech at their own game? Let's break it down. Larry Ellison wasn't born into privilege. In fact, he never even met his biological father. He was raised by adoptive parents on the south side of Chicago in a tiny apartment under a roof of rules and resentment. His adoptive father, a failed pilot who constantly told Larry he'd never amount to anything. He dropped out of college twice, first Illinois, then Chicago. And when he packed his things and moved to California at 22, he didn't even have a computer science degree. But he did have one thing: a gift for pattern recognition. His break came at Ampex Corporation, working on a classified project for the CIA. The code name, Oracle. His job was to help build a database that could store, retrieve, and cross-reference government intel fast. And while most just followed orders, Ellison saw something bigger. This wasn't just a spy tool. It was the future of information. In 1977, with just $1,200 and two co-founders, Ellison launched a company called Software Development Laboratories. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't funded, but it had one goal: turn that CIA concept into a commercial database engine. By 1983, they rebranded to a name that stuck: Oracle Corporation. And by 1987, they were the world's largest database company. Bigger than IBM, faster than Microsoft. But success came at a cost. Oracle's sales team had a dirty habit: booking revenue early to hit targets. Fake growth, real risk. In 1990, it all crashed. Oracle's stock plummeted. The company was nearly bankrupt. Investors filed lawsuits. Ellison was one bad quarter from total collapse. If most CEOs would have folded here, Ellison did the opposite. He doubled down. And what he did next turned a sinking ship into a global operating system. He fired half the sales team, hired top-tier execs, took full responsibility on record, then rebuilt from the inside out. In 1992, Oracle released version 7, their most stable, scalable product ever. It saved the company, and it made Ellison rich. But this was just the beginning. Oracle wouldn't just manage corporate data. It would become the backbone of governments, militaries, and global finance. Hospitals, banks, airports, intelligence agencies, all running on Oracle. And Ellison? He wasn't just running a software company. He was quietly building the plumbing of the modern world. In tech, speed wins, but sometimes truth comes second. Most billionaires collect assets. Larry Ellison builds worlds. In 2012, he bought 98% of an entire Hawaiian island. Lanai, not a resort, not a beach house, the island. His plan: turn it into a self-sustaining utopia, powered by green energy, fueled by clean food, filled with elite wellness labs, smart farms, and longevity tech. He calls it a model for the future. Others call it tech feudalism, but that's just his summer property. He owns $450 million in beachfront estates, mansions in Malibu, Woodside, Lake Tahoe, a literal Japanese-style imperial compound built with imported materials and 16th century design principles. Oh, and the boats. He spent $500 million on America's Cup racing yachts just to win, and he did. His team beat the world in 2013, staging the greatest comeback in sailing history. It wasn't about money, it was about domination. Because Ellison doesn't play for hobbies. He plays for immortality. He's obsessed with anti-aging research. He personally funds biotech ventures on Lanai, designed to extend the human lifespan. He works out daily, crashed his bike at 70, still rides, collects decommissioned fighter jets. He's a licensed pilot, flies them himself, has a squadron of them, including a retired MiG-29. This isn't a lifestyle. It's a personal simulation. Every space he builds, every object he owns is part of a curated environment, built for speed, precision, control. Because for Ellison, billionaire status isn't about luxury. It's about rewriting reality on his own terms. And when you've conquered business and land and sky, what's left? The answer's darker than you think. Larry Ellison didn't just build software. He built the system. Oracle runs silently under the surface of modern life, behind your bank, your medical records, your government files. It's not flashy, it's foundational. But here's where the control deepens. In 2022, Oracle was sued for allegedly building dossiers on over 5 billion people. Name, income, location, online behavior, all bundled, all tracked, all allegedly for sale. The lawsuit called it surveillance capitalism at planetary scale. Oracle denied wrongdoing. The case was settled quietly, but the concern still loud. Ellison's proximity to U.S. intelligence agencies goes way back. Remember the CIA project, codenamed Oracle? He's always been closer to the system than he lets on. And when it comes to keeping wealth, he plays the long game. Instead of selling Oracle shares and triggering taxes, he borrows against them. Billions in liquidity, zero capital gains. Legal? Yes. Common among billionaires? Fair? That's the debate. His political donations? Over $30 million to conservative super PACs. Much of it flows through dark money channels, untraceable, unaccountable. It's not charity, it's leverage. Oracle even faced antitrust scrutiny, investor lawsuits, and claims of exploiting loopholes to win government contracts. When you connect the dots, a pattern starts to emerge. This isn't a man who wants influence. It's a man who wants infrastructure. Power that runs quietly, persistently beneath your feet. Still think it's just software? Because we're not done. In the next section, we ask the one questions billionaires hate. When is generosity just reputation management? Larry Ellison once said, the most important aspect of philanthropy is impact. But impact on what? Lives, legacy, or lawsuits? Look at the numbers. He's donated hundreds of millions to medical research, cancer treatments, climate resilience, and education. The Ellison Institute for Transformative Medicine at USC, a world-class, sleek, $200 million plus facility targeting cancer at the molecular level. Then there's Sensei Ag, his sustainable farming company, headquartered on Lanai, the Hawaiian island he bought for $300 million. Yes, he owns 98% of an island. It's a real-life Sim City for billionaires, where Ellison experiments with wellness tech, green energy, and anti-aging labs. It looks altruistic, but is it? Here's the twist. Much of Ellison's most publicized giving happened right after legal controversies or privacy scandals. Now, to be fair, he's signed the Giving Pledge, promised to donate most of his fortune in his lifetime. That's noble. But critics say this isn't generosity. It's strategic damage control, a firewall made of press releases and research grants. Think about it. When a billionaire funds healthcare innovation after being accused of mass data surveillance, is it healing or reputation laundering? When Sensei Ag builds high-tech wellness farms for the elite, is it about feeding the future or branding a better version of himself? The Ellison Foundation does good work. That's not the question. The question is why it does and when. Because in an age where reputation is currency and tax write-offs come with press tours, even the purest donations raise one uncomfortable truth. When is philanthropy just well-dressed self-preservation? But if you thought that was the end of the contradictions, buckle up, because now we rapid fire through the most searched questions about Ellison, and some of the answers will leave your jaw on the floor. You've seen the yachts, the jets, the island, but what do people really want to know about Larry Ellison? Let's hit the internet's most searched questions, lightning round style. Is Oracle spying on people? That's complicated. In 2022, Oracle was sued for allegedly collecting data on 5 billion people, not users, everyone. The lawsuit called it digital surveillance at a scale never seen before. Oracle settled quietly. Why doesn't Ellison pay taxes? He does, but barely. Ellison borrows billions against his Oracle stock instead of selling it. That way, he pays no capital gains tax, legally. It's the billionaire cheat code, and Ellison is a master at it. Is he married? 4 marriages, 4 divorces. Currently single, but hey, when you got fighter jets in a Hawaiian island, who needs a honeymoon suite? Why is Ellison back in the news? Because in July 2025, Bloomberg confirmed it. Larry Ellison is now the 2nd richest person on the planet, leapfrogging Bezos and Zuckerberg. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Oracle's been accused of lobbying against open source platforms, tied to government surveillance contracts, and linked to Trump-era data scraping projects. One whistleblower called it surveillance capitalism in enterprise clothing. But here's the twist. None of these scandals slowed him down. If anything, they made him more powerful because Ellison isn't just a titan of tech. He's a master of navigating scandal. The question isn't what he did. It's how he kept winning despite it. And that leads to something deeper. Something more paradoxical. Because Ellison's not just a billionaire with secrets. He's a man who's building paradise, using tools designed to track the world. Imagine this. A man builds an island utopia with solar farms, hydroponic gardens, and clinics focused on reversing aging, using money made from systems that track billions of people. That's Larry Ellison. He funds life-saving cancer research while Oracle settles lawsuits over alleged illegal surveillance. He flies warplanes for fun, but he meditates in silence for clarity. He mentors the next wave of Silicon Valley while backing political forces that want to deregulate it all. He's a tech visionary who acts like a warlord, a dropout who conquered enterprise software, a man who mastered control yet preaches freedom. This isn't duality, it's design. His companies write the code that runs banks, hospitals, and governments, but he rarely gives interviews. He doesn't tweet, he doesn't chase headlines. Ellison doesn't build for attention, he builds for control. And that's the paradox. Is he a digital philosopher king, shaping the world with code, vision, and stubborn will? Or is he quietly constructing a world where power isn't visible? It's embedded in infrastructure. Because the most powerful people today don't just write software. They design the rules of how the world feels, flows, and functions. And Ellison, he's been doing that since before most billionaires were born. He once said, when you innovate, you gotta be prepared for everyone telling you you're nuts. Maybe, or maybe you just gotta be willing to play a longer game than anyone else.